Hi everyone, my name is Byron. I'm the director of music from Playground Sessions. Today I'm going to show you how we mix 925 performances, piano performance together for You Raise Me Up challenge. Let's go. Alright, so the first thing that we do is we have to gather all the submissions and organize them together. And we got all the submissions from the website. They will have a unique ID, and then we organize them into different sections, as you can see here. And then we also have submissions from the social media. Some people put on a hashtag on Instagram, and then we found all of them and then put them into the folders as well. And then we organize them into spreadsheets between each section. This way we could clearly see how many submissions we get. Okay, so as you can see, the chorus has a total of 472 clips. Now why? Because we have the intermediate players and the rookie players at the same time, and some of the intermediate players also play the intro, verse, and chorus all together, and those are all be considered here. And then we pour all the clips into Logic. I slowly cut trim of the beginning and the end of each clip, and then I slowly align them together. This is the very meticulous process between each section, each level. So if you look at this project right now, this is the entire project. It doesn't seem like there are too many tracks here, but if you look at it closely, there's 942 tracks together over here. So if I just expand this, boom, here we go. As you can see, here are all the kids intro, here are all the intermediate intro, and then you got the rookie chorus, intermediate chorus, intermediate verse, all the intermediate sections together, a lot of tracks. So after everything is aligned, now it's about balancing, right? So as I go through each track, I actually slowly organize them and make sure to see if they should be panned left, if they should be panned right, why would they sound good in relationship to each other. I'm going to show you the most intense section. Let's just have a listen. So this is the chorus one. Here we go, chorus one. All these tracks are playing, with the exception of a few little ones. Let's just solo the rookie section so that you can hear what it sounds like. So these are all the rookie players. Some of these are muted because they're either submitted wrong or there's some errors in there. And I try to keep them all around. I try to keep all the performances natural. But if there's certain little nuances that's not as good, I will rebalance them with the volumes, right? But so you can see, it's not perfectly aligned. We want to keep the performance natural and stay true to the actual performances. And this is what all the intermediate play sounds like. And here are then combined. Now, how I make these decisions, it really depends. When you go through individual tracks, they sound very different. If you solo this track right here, there's a little bit of hisses up there. So I eliminate all that, because when you have that many pianos, 400 pianos playing all together, a lot of the extra stuff will add up, right? This sounds pretty quiet with just one piano. Let's add 10 pianos on top. Now all of them together. So you can hear the difference when they're all together. Let's put back the backing track. Another interesting thing that I did is at the end of the rookie section, chorus 1, there's actually like a little ooh there. That's just part of the recording of somebody cheering, getting 100, right? So that we actually kept it in the recording, but you can barely hear it in the final recording. But it's there. These are just the little natural things I actually don't fade them out all at the same time, just to want to keep the flow natural and stay true to the actual performance and all the imperfections in the recording. Okay, so now let's talk about something. There are certain part of the songs that are pretty quiet, right? But then the users, most of them recorded with the metronome to keep them to play to make sure that they play in time. And that becomes a problem when it comes to mixing, because imagine if you have 300 people playing together, all having the metronome sound, it gets really, really loud, especially if the music is quiet and they're playing very quietly. So in the BZ section, like the instrumental section over here, you won't have any problems over this type of sections because the backing track is loud, all the pianos are loud, there's a lot going on. So when you go to the outro of the song, this is such an emotional part of the song, and you really want to drive home with the piano and the purity of the piano sound and the backing track. So the metronome becomes a little bit distracting. So let's play it back. This is the final mix. Okay, so as you can see here, you don't actually hear that much of the metronome, but it's because I did some special processing. So let me just solo what's going on. So these are the kits it's playing. And the melody by the rookie players. So I'm using this thing called dynamic EQ. This basically reacts to whenever the metronome signal gets very loud, and then it basically suppresses, act like a compressor to depress the sound. I could show you. So if we solo here, let's show the rookie one. So I'm just gonna solo the rookie section. So this is the filter. This is what I'm cutting out. All the clicks that's going on. So the best way to compare it is, let me turn off both of the effects so you can hear it without dynamic EQ. You hear the clicks, you hear the metronome going. It doesn't really align. Right, so it just gets a little bit distracting. So here we go. After. Without. Now with. Now the metronomes are basically gone. Okay, so one last thing I want to show you guys, how I ended up changing the mix for the accompaniment. So let's look at the climax of the piece, the chorus. Okay, so this is a quick tip for any mixing engineers out there or anyone who is interested in mixing music, is to always listen the song and all the tracks, all the elements of the song in context, in relationship with each other, not by itself. So if you listen to this track by itself, this is what it sounds like. This is the backing track. So what I ended up doing is let me show you without the processing. This is what it sounds like originally. And now after the processing, I ended up carving out the middle part of the song to the middle part of the recording a little bit and make it a little bit wider. And also just to make the low end a little bit thicker as well. So the reason why is because there's just so much energy of all the pianos that's going on. You really need the space in the middle for the piano to sit in. So because of that, the backing track actually get lost without all the processing. So this is what's happening with the piano, right? So when you play them both together, I'll show you with and without the processing. So this is with the processing. This is the final version of the recording. Now without. You start hearing the drums fighting with the piano, and you just kind of lose the focus. It feels like they're not together, right? Now with the processing. Yeah, so basically, if you listen to the track by itself with all the processing alone, it sounds better. But because of all the pianos and all the energy in the middle, the processing has to change to fit in the rest of the picture. It doesn't matter if the backing track sounds good by itself. You have to make sure, right? In this case, the stars is all of you guys, all the users who participated in the recital. So we had to make sure that's really highlighted. And to cover space for the piano, we have to make the backing track a little bit wider. All right, guys, so this is it. This is how I mix the You Raise Me Up challenge with 925 pianos all together. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to message us on Instagram or comment down below, and be sure to check out the extra video if you have. All right, and I'll see you guys very soon. See you.